Hello, everyone. I'm here with Lisa Marie today, and Lisa has been chatting and talking with some of our students in the school. And I wanted to thank her personally for doing that, making up the time for doing that, and just accepting them as they are. And I wanted to learn how was your experience in doing that, and I wanted to tell you more about what we're doing at the school and why are these kids doing what they're doing and I'll tell you a little bit about the school. So I started this school around, I bought this school around 2 years ago. It's a private school in a slum area in Karachi, Pakistan. Karachi is a small town of 30 million people, and the country of Pakistan is 240 million people. Out of those 240 million people, 70% of the population is under 22 and 26 million of them don't go to any kind of school. The majority of the people of the country earn less than $100 a month, around $80 a month, and the people who live near the school earn around $100 a month with around six people in the house. So, this school is designed to recreate the way education is done. We also our aim is to make these kids, just like in the US, you start becoming an entrepreneur by selling your lemonade outside the house or the school. In our school, we wanted to embrace freelancing because you can sit on the computer, you're safe, you don't have to go anywhere, and you can hire a customer or you can get a customer overseas where people make much more money than you do, and then you give the same services at much higher price than you will get in your own country. So we started teaching them freelancing at a very young age. We make sure that the kids earn at least $100 a month on the sixth grade, and then $300 a month in seventh grade, and $500 a month at eighth grade, and then start a business, which they should be able to use to help at least 10 million people and sell it for $1 million by the time they're 12th graders. So this is kind of a experimental model which we are working with so that once it works, other schools can copy it. And we are partners with the students. We don't charge fees, but when they make money, we're supposed to split it 50-50 with the student. So the school wins, the parents win, the kids win, the country wins, everybody wins. So that's what kind of we're doing. These kids did not speak any English a year ago, and they could. It was really bad. They couldn't do. They did not have any computers. They're using the computers for the first time this year in their life, which is like 12 months ago. March, actually, we gave everybody a laptop. Uh, and so they actually learned English by listening to you all, by actually and they were very shy like every other kid, so and they were not ready to use the computers and find people and interview them, and that's kind of a weird thing what we're doing. But what it is doing, and then we incentivize it, so we pay them $1 per interview. So every time they get a person. So every time you spoke with one of the kids, they got a buck, and they are taught to research you through ChatGPT, and then they find the questions around you, and then they ask you questions, and they stick the questions on the screen, which you might have seen. Some of them cannot even pronounce the words,
Right.
but sweet, and they're kids, and they're taught to nod, just nod when you're speaking, just just to show that they're listening, but they're not really understanding what you're saying. And after you're done speaking, they're taught to say, "Oh, wonderful answer, thank you so much," and then they ask the next question. But after doing this 50 times with different people, they end up actually understanding a lot of English, and then they actually started to speak English all of a sudden on their own. We did not teach them. We don't have a proper English teacher at the school. This is how they have been learning English, and this is a very interesting way of teaching them. It's like immersing them in the with Americans, with English speaking people, and they just had to speak it. Just like when you travel, you just pick up a few words, and then you pick up more words, and you pick up more words, and then slowly they started to speak English.
I'm amazed to hear what you're telling me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
And
Wow.
And now we have found an AI which acts as a human being, and they can actually interact with her. So we have now stopped paying and asked the students not to do any more interviews till you get a little bit fluent, and do at least 100 conversations with Annie, which is the app name. And now they talk for with the app for, and we pay them for talking to the app, so that there's an incentive for them to
Mhm.
um, do this. And after they have done 100 interviews with Annie, then they will again go out and look for people around the world and make friends and for a lifetime, and interview them. And then at least they will be understanding what's going on and not just nodding what Lisa is pouring out their wisdom, and they're like just nodding. They don't really
Yeah.
get what's happening. So
I
that
did notice that a few times. It's like I was asked the same question like 2 or 3 times. It's like, well, that's funny, but I'm amazed at how they have holy cow, just a year, and some of them just 2 years ago. I mean, that's
None of
crazy.
them started 2 years ago. Everybody
Wow.
started a year ago. The computers. So this is a very different way of teaching, and we don't teach biology, chemistry, science, English, maths, nothing of that.
Okay.
And the principal of the school didn't like it because I bought a running school with the staff, so nobody understood what I'm doing, and they were against me kind of. And they, even though they were doing their job, they were disconnecting the internet, and electricity and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was going in the negative. So for the first 6 to 8 months, they didn't even agree to what we're doing. So, and they didn't
But
tell it
they
on the
do
face.
now?
They do agree now. Yes, some of
Wonderful.
them. There are 5 teachers who still don't agree. I still pay them, but they just come in. They just sit all day long, play with the computer, which they never did before. But now, and they leave. But now I've noticed that because they were playing with the computer for the first time, and they see all these kids doing amazing stuff with the computers, they also started to learn AI, ChatGPT, and they create content really amazing.
Yeah.
And so they have also started to blossom, even though they have never used a computer more than less than a year ago also.
Wow.
So they were.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed. That's I am literally amazed. I think that is amazing what you have done. And what started what where did that thought or that vision, where did that stem from?
Which part?
That
There's lots of stuff going on
what
in the
I
school.
what I would like to know is what your vision was right off the get-go and how it's evolved from there.
So I was declined the US visa 16 times. And when I got declined the 16th time, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to just fix my own country and, make it into a space where you can't refuse me anymore. So that was 14 years ago. And 14 years ago, I kind of took off from my work and stopped working and just started to teach entrepreneurship. And my goal was to help at least 1 million people start their own business. And
Nice.
each business should be started in just $100 because most people don't have money. So my goal was to help 1 million people start their own business with $100, and they should be able to make at least $300 a month using that money. And I gave myself a challenge. I failed. I did not succeed in that. I start over 100 different projects, and almost nobody was able to start, but I learned a lot. Um, I'm sure a lot of people started businesses. I am 100% sure, but not 1 million.
Mhm.
And And this is back then when the YouTube was blocked in our country. They weren't allowed to use YouTube. There was no smartphone back then anywhere in the world. There were no 4G connection, no fast internet on the cellular phones.
You know,
So
people
this
like
was
me,
many
and
years ago.
I'm gonna say
Literally,
spoiled. We don't think about stuff like that. You know, we just don't because like I said, we're spoiled. We have it all right there. Wow, that is really, really cool. I am so proud of you. That is amazing. You must feel very, very accomplished
I
because
don't.
look at where it has. I mean, my lord. Yeah, here I am trying to start a little pet farm, for animals, and look at you're helping. Maybe not millions yet. I have no doubt it probably will get there. So you people can do this online. They don't have to live right in Pakistan, correct?
So the school curriculum which I have designed is was designed originally for Pakistan, and then I went to a conference last month in London, and then a lot of people, I bumped into, and they were asking, "What do you do?" And I had to just tell them, "What do I do?" And they're like, "Why don't you have one in London?" So I started thinking about it, and then I have created an online version of the same school where people can enroll from the UK. And I
Mhm.
plan now to do, once that goes up and running, we will do one in the US, we'll do one in other parts of the world, so that there are people around the world who need help, who want to start, build setting a business. And I think that the age 8 or 10 to 18 is where you don't have to pay a mortgage, you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have kids, you just have, their primary job of your life is to learn. And why are we learning the stuff which we will not need in life? And so my goal in the school is that I want to teach at least, I mean, now I have reduced from 1 million people to 1,000 people, but these 1,000 people will be the next Obama, next Edison, next Steve Jobs, next Bill Gates. So the school is basically trying to figure out the recipe. You can make a PhD doctor, you can make a doctor, you can make an accountant just by putting them through a process. Well, why
Right.
aren't we able to make the next Bill Gates? Why can't we just make the next Edison? Why can't we make the next Obama? Why do we have to choose between an 82-year-old man and a 76-year-old man to become the most powerful man in the world? Why aren't the smart kids being created into the next leader of our countries? So
Right.
that's the goal. So now we help these kids have a goal in their life at sixth grade, and they
Mhm.
have to solve a world problem which is faced by at least 10 million human beings. And when you just learn this, how to solve this, you become phenomenal yourself. You generate a lot of wealth. You help a lot of people, and
Mhm.
that's what the curriculum is. What we have designed, and we use a lot of networking and connections in the world
Mhm.
to do all this. No
And
school in the world is designed for the post internet and post artificial intelligence era. This is the first
right.
school, I think, which is designed to use the AI, use the internet, as a pen and a pencil, just
Mhm.
as important as a pen and a pencil. So we don't have pen and pencils allowed in the school. We
Okay.
don't.
Interesting. Interesting. And me being a teacher, it really doesn't matter what I think, but I do think that this is amazing because I believe that kids, I always promote education. However, education is not needed in the core things that we teach in school as teachers, like you said, the math, the science, the history, the geography, how much, I mean, this is what they can use in the future. This is what is the whole world is evolving into. And these these poorer countries, such as Pakistan, I mean, especially in that area, I mean, they without something like this, what kind of a chance do they have? Seriously.
Um, it's a long conversation. Do you really want to have that?
It's a long conversation, but I find it fascinating, and I do agree with your logic, you know, what you're thinking. And coming from an ex-school teacher, I mean, I don't know if everybody would agree with me, but you know, in US is way different than Pakistan or, you know, all of these look at Africa too. I mean, do you have even farther plans with like Africa or China? Probably doesn't need it. They're pretty much technology. I mean, they're right there, aren't they? The top of everything. Me myself, you just took all of my excuses away for learning this technology, because somebody like me that did not grow up with it it's difficult. So I'm trying to learn this now in my 60s, but you're telling me these kids come in there a year ago and with no computer skills, that is mind blowing. And they're learning the English. I'll tell you what, some of those kids they are good. They are good. You got Hijab and Mispa, and I could name off a pile of them. These kids are amazing. You know what I mean? I could tell that some of them, they were just, oh my gosh, they were so cute and so serious and just very professional. Um, if I could add maybe a suggestion, I think would be helpful when they are asking people for these interviews and whatnot. See, you don't schedule anything. You just Johnny on the spot, aren't you? I love that. That's great. But we're not like that. So anyway, I did notice that some of the kids had no clue what kind of questions to ask me. Some of them were, I mean, I'm telling you, excellent, superior. There was a couple that were superior. And I thought, I didn't want to ask them. I said, but I did ask one about AI. Are you getting your questions from AI? Of course I am. You know what I mean? So yeah, you gotta use the tools and know how to use them. That's where I kind of fall behind a little bit because I don't know how to use those tools. So you know, when the kids started reaching out, I
So
got
tell
a
me
little.
how it started. Tell me how, what was the first message, or who was the first kid who actually reached out to you, and how did they just reach out to you all of a sudden from out of nowhere?
You know, I think no, 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 no. You put us in a group so you put us in a group together on Facebook Messenger, and you gave them their stipulations, you know, create 10 reels or something like that. But I think it was Hijab was the first one that I talked to. And it took a long time to get our schedules together where we could actually do the interview. So I did many before her. But I'm telling you, she sticks out in my mind, and her little brother too. Usman, is it? Usman, beautiful kids. And she just reached out. She said she was at this Rehan school in Karachi, Pakistan, told me where she was from, and she was conducting interviews, learning how to be an entrepreneur. And she wondered if she could take some of my time. And I said, absolutely. But now, see, I asked the kids for the questions ahead of time so that I could prepare. And I knew that there was going to be a language barrier. And not all the kids used the words going across the screen. So the ones that didn't, I really had a difficult time. So that makes me even more astonished with their language and how they I am just amazed by that. To learn a language in like a year, that's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. Or Americans are just we have the lazy way, I guess. We've had everything pretty much handed to us.
Well, so how did it make? So here's a suggestion for you. In future, when you book an appointment, you ask them, show me the past 3 interviews you have done, and also send me 10 questions which you will want to ask me. So don't give an appointment to anyone who doesn't do that. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, if you see the past interviews are not good enough, you tell them, well, I see that there's some issues in there. Why don't you do another 50 interviews and you come back to me after that?
Okay.
So
Uh,
uh,
We we ran
if
into
you
one like that today, and actually, it was not her fault. It was actually mine. And that scheduling, I can see why you're saying that now. I didn't before because I do everything by a schedule. You know what I mean?
and
If
then
it's
you
not
can
on the
schedule
schedule.
each of them has to have a scheduled calendar. There's a
Mhm.
software calendary, they use that, and they use Google Calendar. So they have to schedule with you, and if they don't show up, they get fined. So all of these things are there, but because they reach out to anyone and everyone, and we haven't really created a system of stopping them from doing that, because we want them. I mean, we want them to be able to go and wander and whoever they want to talk to, for now at least,
Right.
till we figure out a better way.
Mhm.
So for now, if they come to you or any of your friends, you just tell them, don't give an interview till this person has already done 30 of them or 50 of them.
Mhm.
If somebody comes to me for an interview, even from the school, they have to have done at least 100 interviews before they can interview me, because they don't know how to use the computer, they don't know how to use the software, they don't know many things which are required to do the interview. It's not just getting a person, right? So you kind of have to prepare, and after you have done it 100 times, you're pretty good at it, and you have already been smacked by someone that why didn't you show up on time and why didn't you schedule, and there's enough practice there. So
Right.
for your
Right.
future interviews, um, don't do that.
Okay.
Second, we have started
Oh,
second
you
we have
froze.
started a new class where they have to now teach an hour a day what they know. So some of the kids are designed or trained for using becoming a freelancer. Some of them are graphic designers. Some of them are YouTubers. So you can see their last name as a YouTube wala or a freelancing wala or a
Okay.
graphics wala, and it's like a shop. So you can just see what they're selling, and then they have to give an hour-long class to someone for the first 20 times for free, and after that $2 an hour.
Wow.
So now they start, so you can learn ChatGPT with them live, one on one, and it has to be broadcasted so the others can also learn as a byproduct.
I
And
love
you
that. I love that.
and and they're learning teaching. So because majority of the people don't even know basics of ChatGPT and other graphic software, and they're just kids, and they're not charging you initially for the first 20 times anyways. They
Mhm.
get good at it. You learn by teaching,
Mhm.
and so yeah, that's also something now you can tap into. So if you want to learn
Yeah.
something which you tell me what you want to learn, and I'll hook you up with one of the students who has to now teach you every day. That's their homework, that's their classwork, actually not homework,
Oh
that's
my
their classwork.
Do you know how helpful that would be for people, especially people, such as me? I mean, that's huge.
Well,
I
find me
know
a
a
thousand
lot
more
of
people like
people.
yourself.
There's a
You need,
lot of people that would absolutely be on board for that for sure.
yeah,
Yep.
find me all the people who want to learn. I will be very happy to educate them, no problem.
Oh my goodness, that is so generous. I love that. And I will be the number one student. I will be right there for sure because I'm eager to learn. It's people don't take the patience to to do that, you know. I do have a group, you know, where we've got one guy in there that just is amazing at all of this stuff. He's so excited about AI. Obviously, you are, right? Tell me where do you see the future with with your students and with AI the way it's evolving right now? So like 3 to 5 years from now, what do you see?
Okay, I would love to answer that question, but before that, I want to hear how has it made you feel talking to these young kids on the other sides of the world, sitting on a computer, reaching out to you, and requesting, Lisa, we want your time, and we want to interview you. And how has this whole experience been different? Because you have lived a rich life probably, and how has this how
It,
does it how what would you tell about this when you go out with a friend or
well, I've got a few people in my group that I've already referred to the kids, you know, so hopefully they're working on that. We got a couple more coming in and helping out with the interviews. But what it's taught me is whole you know, I feel like I'm from the Stone Age when I was teaching. I honestly do. Um, it's made me more aware of the circumstances in other countries, you know, far from here. The lifestyle of Pakistan, I find it very intriguing. I love learning other cultures and, you know, just people's beliefs and their favorite foods. And I'm telling you, I enjoyed talking with the kids so much that I felt comfortable enough to kind of turn the tables on them. I started asking them a few questions, but because I wanted to know, but I've had a lot of fun with it. And it has helped me tremendously in just because I'm continually talking about my vision, you know, and I'm talking about it and, you know, the rescue farm and my plans and what I want to do. So that has solidified my passion about it, if that makes sense. It's just like the more I talk, it's like I'm talking it into fruition. I'm talking it into reality here. Do you know what I mean? So that part of it has got me so super excited. And it just makes me want to keep continuing, you know. And I haven't shut off the interviews yet. I'm still taking new friends and I enjoy doing it. And it's so I was trying to figure out, you know, why did this come into to my life? You know, I'm trying to figure out, was it a sign from my creator or there was something valuable here for me to learn, I think. And and that was solidifying my vision, knowing that and being able to talk to those kids and tell them that they are miracles and tell them that they can achieve anything. You just got to believe it. So uh, it gave me that passion back again when I was teaching, you know, that I haven't seen that kind of passion in me for many years, 20 years to be exact. You know, so that gave me that back again, and it's actually gave my vision every detail that I need for it to succeed. So this has been a tremendous help for me. And I hope it was for the kids too. Maybe I wasn't the best pick, but I think I did okay with the kids. You know, I think I did. And I was just being myself. And in a lot of those kids, I have formed friendships with, you know, like Hijab and Miss Ba. And there's a, oh, and that. that little girl, I forgot her name, Swala, Swa. She's only 8 or 7, 7 or 8. She must be 8. But she bestilled my heart. I just grew I fell in love with her. Just a breath of sunshine, and so they got so excited to meet me. You could tell they were nervous. You could tell some were comfortable. But I'm telling you, this has been an experience that I would absolutely do again in a heartbeat. So I enjoyed it very much.
First of all, happy birthday to you.
Oh,
And
thanks.
I saw and you look beautiful at 25, by the
Oh,
way.
yeah, right.
And I
Yeah.
saw one of the girls said that, my best friend's birthday. I was like, really? That's her
Oh,
best friend already?
oh, isn't that sweet? Oh my god!
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of the kids sent me birthday wishes. So that meant the world to me. Yeah, that was super cool. And I met some of the parents too. So that was cool. Some of the parents were sitting in the background, and one of them came, it showed his face, said he loved what we were doing. So they were happy about it. Um, I we did have some communication problems, just a little bit, but they understood very, very well when we were typing back and forth. They understood everything. As far as I know, they did. So they have come a tremendous way. I can't even believe you tell me some of them are only there for a year. That's amazing. Look at how much they have learned. That's crazy. I think that our US kids should be doing that too, seriously. Look at what's happened to our school system since the pandemic, you know? Has that changed? Of course, you said you bought it 2 years ago. Did you always have 11 million followers? That's
Well,
huge.
I was born. I'm 50. I wasn't born 50, right? We are all born, day one, day two, day three. We all just grow like that.
Yeah.
So tell me what, Easter is coming. You'll probably have a party. Then what would you tell your friends and your colleagues from back at the school time if they did the same thing? How would this enrich their experience, enrich their life? Because I know everything you have done, that you have told me. I've experienced this dozens and hundreds of times before in humans, and it actually helps a lot to give interviews. It changes you. If you give 50 interviews, your thoughts will come together, your mind will come together, you will understand who you are for the first time in your life because you're talking to a complete stranger who has no clue whatsoever about you. They're not judging you, they don't have any idea who you are. You can be whoever you want to be, and it crystallizes your thoughts and process. So this is not my first time. It's a process I've been doing for 7 8 years,
Hmm.
and now I have implemented it by enforced it on the school because I have actually researched it, and I've done this a few hundred times before this. So
Yeah.
I know what's happening to you, but I want your words on how would you explain that it will help anyone who indulges himself or herself in this experience of saying, you know what, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give out 50 interviews to these kids. What would it bring to them?
It would bring them joy for sure, because how often do you get to talk about your vision? And who wants to hear about your vision, for one? I mean, everybody has their own thing. So that's what I felt. And that's what I would tell somebody. I never get to talk about my passion or my vision and what I want to, because I can picture everything, and that these interviews is what brought that out in me, because I was kind of wishy washy. Yeah, if this works or, but I'm more solid in what I want and what I want to see because I have talked about it with these kids every day, so that it boosts my courage, my confidence, you know, you're right. You nailed that. It just made my mind think of all the details. It just brought everything together for me. You know what I mean? Are there still problems? Absolutely. But, I can take on those challenges as they come. I'm not going to sit here and worry about them, right? But if anybody is wishy washy on their vision or just not quite sure on how to put it all together, this absolutely will do that for them because I believe that you can speak anything into fruition and you will. And if you believe it, so the more you talk about it, the more you're going to believe it, right? So we are exactly what we think about. And this would help anybody solidify their vision. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't explain things the bestest, but that's, the people that know me, they know that. But that's the best way I can describe it for me. For me. And everybody might be different. You know what? They made me feel important too. They made me feel special. They they did. They were always respectful, always kind, and I got to learn little bits and pieces about each one of them and their lives and their families, and it all matters. That all matters. It's not just about us. So, yeah, and I think I left the kids feeling very good. Most of them. Most of them. You clash with a few people, but it all went very, very well. I was very pleased. And now I'm having a hard time stopping.
Don't
But
stop. It's only 100 kids. You can do it.
right, right. You know what? I will keep doing it because I've enjoyed it that much. And you
Yeah.
know what? It's going to make you a better speaker too. You know, it's gotta help. I know it has me. I don't get near as shy anymore, because that's a big thing. Nobody wants to be seen on camera. They broke me of that. So and I've even gotten on with my hair not combed. It's like, oh, just do it anyway. But yeah, they're super fun. Super fun. I've got a few new recipes. I've got many invites to Pakistan to visit the school. So, yeah, super cool. I enjoyed it.
Well, we're opening another branch on the 15th of April. You're more than welcome to come and join us.
Wow.
And
That is
you can meet the kids. And there's a brother. My brother's son is getting married also, so you can join us for the wedding if you want to join.
nice. April 15th, huh?
April 15th. Yeah.
Wow. Somebody else is launching on April 15th. Crazy. That would be amazing. I have never been out of the US. Never.
Well, you
So,
have. You're just talking to me, and I'm overseas, so you're literally overseas.
yeah.
So you
Yeah.
asked a vision about what will happen in 5 years. So let me
Yes.
tell
Yes.
you that nobody on earth alive can actually tell you what will happen because
Mhm.
the speed of innovation has, exponentially grown already. And I was just watching a show with David Letterman and Bill Gates in 1995, and he was mocking Bill Gates about the internet and how bad it is, and he didn't really understood it.
Uh-huh.
And then about the computers, there was another show, and I don't have a computer. Why do I need a computer? And this
Right.
is Dave Letterman. And then, um, so the challenge is that you think you live in Wisconsin, and you think I live in Pakistan, but I don't think I live in Pakistan. I live on the internet. I've been living on the internet for the last 10, 20 years actually.
Mm-hmm.
and I've always worked from home since I was 13 years of age.
Wow.
So and when pandemic came, I was the most happy person because I was very comfy in my zone. I was trained for this, and I have been running a business in the US for the last 25 years, but I don't live there.
Right.
And I earn in the US and I spend in Pakistan. So that
Mm-hmm.
dollar goes a long way in Pakistan.
Right.
And so I think the world has changed. The problem is that the citizens of the world don't realize that it has changed, and they haven't been forced into changing. The pandemic helped us evolve faster because it forced us to change. It
Mm-hmm.
forced us to use the technologies. The teachers were forced to use the internet, use the computers, where they were like, no, you can't use a computer or the cell phone. And all of a sudden, everything just started to change. I wish there was pandemic for another 4 years because that will really force people to come out of their comfort zone
Right.
and
And you're right. It changed things here everywhere
everywhere.
for sure. And people like older era, like myself, we we don't like change. People do
Nobody
not
likes
like change.
nobody likes change. Yeah. Once you're 15, you don't like change.
Right.
So yeah, so I think that these kids, which at least in my school, my goal is to help them live on the internet also. And
Mhm.
people around the world, be it in Africa, be it in Pakistan, be it in India, whoever wants to have a better life, they can move on the internet. They can migrate to the internet. They don't have to earn less money and have a miserable life because they don't have the resources, because all of a sudden there is this internet thing and you can just work anywhere on the planet. And
Mhm.
you just have to think in a different way. And that's what
Well,
I was
is it
saying this
mhm.
that's what I was saying, that the schools are not designed for this era. The schools are still designed for the 20th century, and no school can tell you that, no school will tell you that you don't need to learn all this crap which you're stuffing your head with, because once you graduate, the only reason you're learning or memorizing all this stuff is to get good numbers, and that's it. And why do you need those good numbers? No clue. And but the skill set which we really need: communication, making friendship, being able to travel the world, have enough money, retire at 25 so you can actually change the world for yourself. Why do you have to retire at 65? You don't have any, I'm 50. I really don't want, I have the money, but I don't want to travel because I get tired of traveling. It's just, I've been to 85 countries. I've lived in seven. It's just
Wow.
tiring to travel anymore.
Yeah.
And
And Pakistan is your home. Pakistan?
I have a home in Dubai. I have a home in Pakistan. I have a home in Florida. I have multiple homes. But I like, as I said, I live on the internet. If you want to meet me, just press a button and I'll be there like a genie.
Right.
You don't have to know where I am to get connected to me. And that's
Right.
a mindset which is hard to change because we're not used to. We're like, oh, sit here, let's have a coffee. We're living in this physical space, and I think that would change in maybe another 15 years, because, or maybe less, but it'll help the world become a planet Earth. Right now, we're not living on planet Earth. We're living in the US, we're living in India, we're living in Pakistan. We need to live on planet Earth. We're all living in spaceship Earth.
Right.
It's just everybody's a neighbor. And unless and until we start living as interconnected beings, we will destroy
Yeah.
ourselves. We
Yes, I
will,
agree. I
you're
agree.
this, I'm that, you're this, and that. It's just
Mhm.
this and that would be very troubling. So
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I
that's
agree
what I
with
say.
everything that you have said. I mean, I absolutely do. It it's,
You're probably a very agreeable person.
yeah, no, not always. No, to ask my husband, he wouldn't agree with that. I've been married 42 years, though. That is a lifetime. And so, yeah, we do okay. But, I'm looking at my life. I did retire early. I didn't work. I retired at 59 and a half, something like that. But anyway, I didn't work. And if I would have known then what I know now, I would have quit working a lot quicker than what I did, because we just paved the way for other people's businesses by having a job. I we call that just over broke. If you're having a job, a true story though, right? Paving somebody else's way. And yeah, if I'd have known then what I know now, I probably would already have the rescue farm going. I would have all these things in place. And it's so, take it from me. You know what? You are going with evolution, and I have no doubt you will have the next Edison or the next whoever, all of them. They're all brilliant. Bill Gates. What about the electric car guy? What's his name? Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Do you agree with a lot of what he's doing? Or what's your thoughts on that? I just got to ask.
I have made a point that I don't talk about other people in my life.
Okay, that's great.
I
That's
only try
great.
to work on make myself better.
Yeah.
What he does is it's not my concern. It takes away a lot of time and energy when you watch TV and politics, and I think
Mhm.
we can actually be active participants in the whole thing rather than say. I mean, if there was something I could help him with, then I will study what he's doing. But if I'm
Yeah.
not, if it doesn't bother concern me, it's not my problem. Whatever he's doing.
Do you know
Uh,
what I really admired about you?
what
And this is huge because I meet a lot of people and nobody, well, one person does, but you do this amazingly well, and you are connecting people across the world together. You know what I mean? Whether they have something in common or they can, assist each other or whatever, you are at least connecting people together. I have never run into that before. I really, really like that. And you should do more of that. You should do more of that. I thought that was amazing. You introduced me to some wonderful people. Whether that works out that we work together or interview, well, it doesn't matter. You connected us, and most people will not do that.
Yeah, this I've been doing since very young age. So yeah,
Mhm.
I love to connect, and everything is about connections. And the reason certain people are poor and the certain people are rich is the connections, nothing else. The
Mhm.
reason certain people are Republican, certain people are Democrat is their connections, their friends. Everything is based on our friends.
That's
Uh,
right. I agree.
and
Yeah.
so if
You
you
are
change
very
your
wise
friends,
for your age. You are very wise for your age.
yeah. So if you want to get rich, just change your friends. First of all, you unfriend everyone who is not rich, and then you start friending people who are rich, and then your patterns in your mind has to change. The way your mind think has to change, and that takes 3 to 5 years. It doesn't happen overnight.
You know what?
And
Then it's happening for me right now. It
yeah,
is.
it's
I believe
faster
that.
when you do a physical communication like this.
Mhm.
uh, Much faster because now you have indulged into this conversations with these young ones, and I would recommend that you actually start interviewing them so that you will increase your listening power, and then you can start a podcast of your own, and then these kids can teach you, or my courses can teach you, which are free by the way, to go out there and first you should make a purpose. You should say, hey, I am now X years of age. In the next 10 years I want to impact 1 million people, or million dogs or 10 million dogs or animals, whatever your intention is.
Mhm.
And then once you set up the intention, Lord will come in and help you with a lot of people randomly showing up. And the easiest way to build a network today is a podcast. And you
That's
go
what I
out and, you know,
hear.
it used to be coffee, it used to be lunches and dinners, but people don't have time. And
Yeah.
everybody is in this hurry of their own followers. So they would be happy to indulge with you in a podcast more than in a dinner.
Oh,
There,
yeah.
some of them who are shy won't come, but there are lots of people who are not shy. And
Mhm.
suppose you want to build this animal sanctuary, right? So if you interviewed 1,000 people who have an animal sanctuary anywhere on the planet, I can guarantee you, you will have the biggest sanctuary and the biggest impact on animals anywhere, because simply you know them, they know you, everything goes through you. You become the Suez Canal, and all of a sudden everybody's coming to you and giving you all their ideas and coming you with their problem, and you just connect the dots together and impact more and more and more people just by
Yeah.
connecting the dots together.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you. I will do that. I will do that. Absolutely. 1,000, that may take me a long time.
Let's start with 50. Start with the kids,
Yeah.
and you can just start an animal. Tell me more about what you want to do, and I'll give you a better idea.
Okay, we have the perfect scenario here, 40 acres, which is a lot of land for a rescue farm. We have buildings, if I can make stalls. I can do a lot of this work myself, my husband
Just
too,
tell
but
me your dream. Just tell me your
my
dream
dream is to have
in 30
every
seconds.
type of animal here, every type of animal that
Is it,
I
you want to
can.
make a zoo?
Well,
Do you want to make a zoo?
A petting zoo would be nice, but not a zoo. I want to nurse these animals back to health. There's terribly so many animals are being abused or just thrown away, and I want to be their voice. I want to be their voice because they don't have that for themselves. And when I started deciding this animal sanctuary, I do have a huge love for animals, but I have a bigger love for kids. And I really truly wanted to have a camp here for orphans, through the summer months, because we have access to the Namakagon River, kayaking, hunting, fishing, growing our own food. I could teach these kids and develop their mindset too with personal development. That has always been a bigger vision for me than the animals. I figured it would take too much zoning, too many hoops to jump through for the kids. That's why I opted to go with the animals instead. But I can see it, the horses out there grazing and the chickens and the little billy goats and the donkeys. And I can see them all and alpacas. And, a lot of animals are looking for homes like that. I'm not smart with pet care. I'm learning as I go. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I've been doing. But see, now here, Rehan, you have to know the right questions to ask too. Don't you think?
So
Does that?
I asked AI that this is who you are and this is what you want to do. I asked it that I have a friend who wants to be the voice of the animals, and she wants to make animal sanctuary. She wants the summer camp for kids also. What should she call her podcast? So here are the 4 or 5 names she suggested. So it's Echo of Eden, which is beautiful. I like it.
Oh,
Pause and Play.
I like
Uh,
that one.
yeah, Wild Heart Dialogue, Nature's Voices, Sanctuary Sound. So you can just start a podcast right there, one of these names, and just start it. And then in future you can change it. And you can actually talk about these things with the kids. So you can go to ChatGPT and let's see. Do you know Rehan Allahwala? Okay, so I want to interview him on my podcast called Pause and you like pause and play, right?
I like the first two, both of those.
So let's do pause and play.
Yeah.
Tell me 5 questions to ask him. So here you go. Inspiration becoming a social entrepreneur, technology and animal welfare. So, in
Oh,
your view,
wow.
how can technology and innovation contribute to animal welfare? Right, that's a beautiful question.
Yeah.
Uh, what are the biggest challenges you have faced while employing social well, like they're not animal related. Tell me more animal related questions I should ask him. Okay, how can technology help track and protect endangered species? That's a nice one. What role
Wow.
do you see for social media and raising awareness for about animal rights and welfare? That's a beautiful question. Can you share innovative ways that technology has been used in animal rescue or sanctuary operation? See, that's crazy.
And
How
then
do
and
you,
there's my podcast right there. And then
there
I
you
can,
go.
yeah, put that in there and elaborate on that even more. That's
So you
amazing.
so you can use these ways to just connect with the right people.
Right.
And when you connect with the right people, money flows in because connects together. There is a similar goal. Say I want to build a summer camp and I want to make it somewhere 2 hours drive from Chicago. And who do I know who has a space, 40 acres of space for that? Oh, Lisa Marie Cook. She has
Mhm.
a space. Hey, by the way, dude, you have $1 million in spare. You wanted to do that. Can we collaborate somehow on doing that? Okay, let's
Oh,
go and let's talk with her. Let's see how we can do this. So that's how it starts. It's like just going on a date with someone for
right.
intention of partner, but the same way you have an intention of a dream.
Right.
And all you have to do is put it out there, put it out there, put it out there, put it out there, and it starts to happen.
And see, that's what
And
I think the kids have done for me.
yeah, so now they have interviewed you. So now you start your podcast, and if you need help with that, ask the kids to help you start your podcast, the images and everything, and give you the interview to start off with. They'll
Yeah.
set it up. They will show you how to use ChatGPT just like I did,
Mhm.
and come up with questions because there's more because it knew me, but it doesn't know everyone. So they will show you how to feed ChatGPT who is this person they're interviewing, and then
Okay.
it teaches that they tell ChatGPT this is the person, this is what they do. Now make me questions for this person only and about this subject, and that
Right.
will help the podcast, and that will help you grow your own awareness, your own knowledge, your own network in that space. Right now, you're just
Floating
flat.
around, yeah.
Yeah, you're floating out there because you don't know there might be 100 associations of this kind who can help you. There might be grants for this. There might be funds for this. There might be who knows because you just don't know. We just don't know what we don't know, and
Right,
that's
exactly.
that's what creating these networks do for us. That because we can't be good at everything, but we can
Right.
find the people who are good at something, and then we
Mhm.
connect them together, and then boom, magic happens.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that. I will use that, absolutely. And I'm gonna start working on a podcast because I was gonna go back to my interviews and they've been super fun and I've enjoyed them. So that's absolutely what I will do. Thank you.
No
You're
worries. Do you have
you're
any last
amazing.
question?
I last question. Wow. Okay. You know what? How You're not all over yet, so you either gotta be in Afghanistan or the UK, but the online presence, can anybody join your school? Can anybody do that?
Yes.
Okay, so how do they get a hold of you?
They don't get a hold of me. Our online school is on Rehan.
Mhm,
That's REHAB, like rehab with an N, and
mhm.
dot education. That's the website for the online academy. It's 4 hours a day, for 5 days a week. It's an after school academy for now, this particular online version. And then once we have more students enrolled in this one, we'll have this, like, we will say you have to ditch your own school. In my physical school where you are talking to the kids, I don't let them do normal schooling because I think it's why put your 2 feet in two different boats. Do one
Mhm,
thing, be focused. So yeah, I think you should join. You can, but you have a leverage that you're
mhm,
American and you can be a student. Right now, we're in this right timing where you can actually act as a student with these kids
mhm,
and tell me what you want to learn. It could be podcast, could be chat GPT, could be whatever. And then I'll connect you with the child, just like I did
mhm,
before for the
mhm.
reels part.
Right.
And then they will teach you that.
Mhm. That's awesome. That is awesome. You got me so excited. I am anxious to learn. That's gonna be great. So thank you. Thank you. And I suggest, you guys check it out. I did watch those videos, of the school is beautiful. The one in, that's in Pakistan there. Absolutely gorgeous. Very up, state of the art places. It's beautiful. I was very shocked. And see, I don't, when I think of Pakistan or, even Africa or India, I I have this vision of very desolate and you know, just very, very poor community. So to see that school and the kids and everything, I thought, you know what, you are making an impact in this world. And so kudos to you. And I hope you continue. I hope you continue to grow. And I hope that many, many, many kids, you will be all over the world. I could see that in 3 to 5 years. You will. So,
Well, let's start with Wisconsin. You want
yeah,
to do summer camp? You can start a chapter there.
have it right here. We have land. You can put it right here.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll connect you with Pamela Hills. She's another friend of mine. She's in Ohio. And we connected around 10 years ago, similarly, on Facebook.
mhm,
And since then, she has helped a lot of kids. This is back when we didn't have the school. And she was talking, and you will enjoy her life story. You can YouTube her. There's lots of videos about this. I've been doing this for a long, long time,
mhm,
and um, help me find more people. That's what my biggest challenge is right now. You can find me students, or you can find me mentors. You can find me people who these kids can just talk to. You can go to the nearest I don't know, RV park. You can go to old age houses where people have a cell phone and they want to they don't have their you know beside their lotto and their TV time. They want
mhm.
to act within a human being. So
Right.
I have looked and looked. I have still not cracked it, and I'm hoping that somebody he upstairs guy has been taking test of me. So I think
Right.
it's so easy fix this world. It's really easy. It's just like
Yeah.
if I was in New York and I haven't never been to Wisconsin, I would think Wisconsin. I don't want to go to Wisconsin. It's like out of
Right.
no middle of nowhere, right? So the same
Right.
way, the places we don't know about, be it Rwanda, be it Africa, somewhere in Africa, be it Pakistan, be it somewhere, things we don't know, we're scared of, and we just not concerned about. But the moment we have a friend there, everything changes.
You're right. That's
So help everybody in Wisconsin make 10 friends in Pakistan. That will change
yes.
Wisconsin for sure.
I will do that. I'm gonna start working on that. Absolutely. I've enjoyed this very much. I appreciate your time so, so much. Um, I had lists of questions, but you talked about everything that I wanted to know. You must have been quite a young man. I mean, young to have thoughts and what you have accomplished. kudos to your parents. They must have did something right with you. But so congratulations for your success. You're doing amazing. I bop into your lives every so often, and if I can't understand them, then I leave. Maybe I should listen more. Maybe I could learn Pakistan or what is it? What's the language there? Um, something, isn't it? Urdan, Urdu.
English is one of our official languages of our country, so don't worry
Okay.
about it. So yeah, stick
Well,
with English. The lesser
yeah.
languages there are, the less fight there will be.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Very good. Rehan, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
talking with me. I love this.
Thank you. So I
Yeah.
have two friends in Wisconsin who live probably nearby, and one of them is Mara Khan, and I've connected you with her.
Oh,
And another
wonderful.
one is Khurram Zuberi. He also lives on a large space. Maybe you guys can connect and see. Khurram Zuberi is one of the guys. It might be difficult with the name, but he is also a very good connector
Okay.
and entrepreneur who can maybe bring your dream come true. But to me, the
Right.
fastest and the cheapest way for you to bring your dream come true is start a simple interview session like this and call it a
Uh-huh.
podcast, and call it pause and whatever. And also I've connected you with another friend called Todd, and Todd runs a rescue center for animals in Pakistan. He's an
Oh,
American,
wow. Awesome.
and he can, when he swings by sometime in the US doing fundraisers, he can pop by to your place and you can host him for the night, or I
Sure.
don't know, barbecue or some biscuits or cheese hats.
Cheese. Cheese. We'll give him a cheese head, his very own cheese head.
Yeah. So thank you for
Well,
taking the time and listening. And the reason I don't speak more in English is because nobody asks me to. So if you have
oh,
more friends who are asking me questions, I'll be happy to do that.
excellent. Excellent. I'm definitely gonna veer people this way because I thought it was excellent. I enjoyed it. I look forward to it. So, and I will continue to do it. I just may do a few less. I gotta have my work time too, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna continue it. And I truly enjoyed it. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Okay, Rehan. You take care. Thank you again very much. And if you can give me a copy of this, that would be great. I would appreciate that. If you record, if you didn't, that's fine. I got a lot of information, so I appreciate it.
Okay. I
Okay.
have asked somebody to call you and teach you how to download this. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. Bye bye. Take care.
Take care.